First time going on from us.
Hey, live.
Did it work? We are officially live.
I believe so.
It's a minute. Yeah. A second. So, hey guys, and welcome to the first official Wallbound live stream. That's a bit of a collaboration effort with Adam from Video Show Me How. So, Adam, thanks for joining us here on this live stream.
Yeah, no worries. Hopefully everyone can hear us.
Yeah, so let us know if the video's working okay, if the audio's working okay. This is a bit of an experiment for us, doing it with a remote camera instead of our trusty old phone kind of taped up on a tripod. So if you guys aren't familiar with Adam, he runs his own YouTube channel called Video Show Me How with his very own Isuzu D-Max. He's done pretty much everything you can think of to that thing.
Just over there.
Yep. And it was also given me a lot of inspiration for all the bits and pieces we've added to our personal D-Max.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said loud and clear, by the way.
And we're okay, cool. That's good news. Should I press the button on this one too?
Right. We're just going to go live on Adam's channel now. And
so we're doing it twice. You got
intro.
2 views. you can pick and choose.
Yeah, so bear with us, a bit experimental here. We've got a couple of microphones down here, obviously one for each live stream.
Yeah.
These things are always a little bit touch and go with the live streams. So
it's going live. So we're just thinking about it.
Yep.
We're on Starlink here too, so send good vibes to Elon. Make it happen.
We've got the most amazing clear skies and are definitely making for a nice fast internet connection, but we'll see how we go.
Yeah.
Just thinking about it. How's our view behind us, by the way? Beautiful beaches behind our shoulders.
I watched all the
Yeah, can you see?
Yeah, you can see
the Mahino is just over there. Just over the little ridge there.
Yeah, the Mahino shipwreck is like, just behind us.
And you may also see a plane land behind us as well. They do use sections of this beach to land planes, which is news to us today. Just as we pulled in up the road, there was like a plane that came overhead, which is fantastic to see. How are you going?
I'm seeing little hearts, but I'm also seeing it going live. So
one of those things where it's already live, it's just telling you it's loading.
Maybe.
Got a lot of technical difficulties.
Did not take that far long, did it? Maybe I'll redo it.
No, ours is like
ours is pretty quick.
seconds.
Right, let me go reload.
Right, we'll just bear with us while we're trying to get Adam's video up as well.
Yeah, thank you to everyone who's already tuned in. We can see some comments rolling in there. Really appreciate you guys hanging around and waiting for the stream to begin.
Looking better.
There we go.
Seeing us now. Maybe. Oh. Well, I think we're good.
Yes.
Yep.
Live.
Awesome.
Alrighty.
I think we're good. I think it's working.
There we go. Twin live stream up and running.
It's like, what's that movie? Like Inception. I'm like YouTubing live Inception.
Yeah.
So, we've got some people joining. So, g'day guys. Hopefully you can hear us. Give us a bit of a thumbs up or something on this stream, so we can kind of just got sort of mic sitting down here on the table that you can kind of see here. So hopefully everyone can. Where's the blue glove? Yes, they're in the D-Max. I actually did bring some, but I thought that would be super weird.
We've just been that
yeah. Apparently it's going to be we'll need it tonight. It's going to be super cold.
Yeah, it is going to be cold.
But so thanks for joining one of the screens. Thanks everyone for joining.
If there's any issues, just feel free to jump to the opposite.
Yeah. Once one goes down, you've got a backup.
Yeah, we've got backups here. We're all set.
So the whole point, I guess, is in the comments, we've got a few questions up the sleeve, but like just throw in a comment. So like this screen, my stream, any questions you want to ask these guys? Obviously, your month 4, 5.
It's getting big close. Yeah, between 5 and 6.
Yeah, 5 and 6.
Yeah.
Crazy. So Perth locals. So obviously you've gone like south, down, a bit into Vic, then up through the middle.
Very, very random routes.
Yeah.
We did a bit of South WA, hopped into South Australia.
Yeah.
Shot across really quickly, then exited South Australia and did big high country.
Yep.
So wanted to get there while some tracks were still open, with the plan of getting there later in the year when Blue Rag and a few of those more sketchy tracks are actually closed due to weather conditions.
Okay.
Then going back through to SA more thoroughly, up in the middle, round through MT. Now we're here in Queensland.
Yeah.
So,
and fresh from the Cape. So
yes.
Any questions for these guys around, I guess you've seen, if you haven't, go check out their channel as far as, their crazy D-Max as well. They've chosen well, D-Max, so that's good. And then I'll ask them those questions. Obviously, any questions you have for me as well, fire away.
Yep.
And then I think kind of vice versa.
Yeah,
right?
vice versa for us too. If you have questions for Adam and his D-Max, he knows pretty much everything there is to know about D-Maxes and tinkering, DIY, all that type of stuff. Let us know. We'll pass those questions on to Adam. Or if you have questions for us, we'll kind of direct us straight to Adam. He can ask us, and we can kind of go from there. Plus, we do have a few in the bank just from Instagram posts and
Cool.
YouTube posts. So
Kind
it's
of
going to be fun.
a joint ask me anything kind of
Yes.
deal.
Yeah.
Nice lines. So
Yeah.
I'll kick off,
Yes.
being that we are on the amazing Fraser, and thankfully the weather is tip top.
Unbelievable.
It's meant to be like 5 or 6 tomorrow morning, which is out of control. But at the moment, it's amazing. The sun over here, blue skies, Mahino down there. It's pretty good. You guys, first time on the island, it's been 7 hours, 6 hours,
Yeah, just
something.
about that. Yep.
First thoughts.
Oh my god, it is unbelievable. Similar to the Cape in the way that it's so far exceeding our expectations. With weather, with wind levels, with how beautiful these beaches are, how blue that water is.
Yep.
Yeah, sensational so far. It's magic.
Yeah, it's definitely different to what we see in WA, and so far anywhere along the coast that we've seen in our lap or squiggle or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, like the beaches here are so clean, which is something that's really stood out to me, especially in WA. Like a lot of our beaches get sadly ruined by just rubbish that people leave there. But this is just really nice, pristine, really wide, really hard beach.
Yeah.
Not at all too soft.
We managed to not get stuck at in-skip points. If you want to see us featured on that Facebook page. Bianca did very well for the barge ride over. She's not the biggest fan of boats, but we made it here, obviously, onto the island. Although she has been eyeing off the planes to maybe take an aerial ride home.
Buying a plane ticket to get back to mainland. I hate planes. It was fine. It was like really nice.
Only a small batch.
Yeah.
So how many times have you been over this way?
This would be, I think, number 4 or 5.
Yeah, okay. Yep. Basically a local at this point.
Well, been around the island. Nowhere near as often as you'd like, right? But it should be good. We've got a heap installed. We're going to be sort of touring pretty much everywhere. Should be looking over here as well. Pretty much everywhere except for Jesus. This is honestly the first one. Seriously,
break the green screen. I'll see we're actually.
We're pretty much everywhere except for allegedly Nagala's shut, so Sandy Cape may be off the cards.
Yeah.
For those of you who didn't know, as well, for a Perth audience as well, in particular, massive cyclone here a few months ago that pretty much washed the Sandy Cape away from all reports. And we're still seeing evidence on the beach here. There's a lot of pretty cliff kind of dunes instead of nice smooth ones. So we may not be able to get there, but pretty much everywhere else. So western side tomorrow, I think, up near Nagala, Central Station as well.
And we'll possibly back and forth west and east to try and see a bit of both sides of the island in the process. A different vibe. Yeah, it's just weird being on an island in a four-wheel drive. Very unique for us.
Yeah.
Cool. It's our third barge for the trip, but it's always been kind of between mainland and the rest, like Jardine, obviously up the Cape.
Yeah, just like big rivers.
The Daintree. Heading back down south from there. Okay. So definitely the longest barge ride today, but very smooth barge ride, I'd say. So,
okay. Yeah. Excellent.
And we're the only ones on the barge, like 2 D-Maxes, private voyage across to the Gulf.
That's how we planned it, though, right?
We tip the barge.
Yeah. Hey, I've got a question here from Andrew Luck. Wanting to know if you guys have sorted the alternator charge issues. Did they watch your video for the upgrade? Yes. It turns out there's a video on how to do an alternator. We were talking about this earlier, actually. While we're at Eurong, for those who've been to Fraser before, you'll know, Eurong, pie, sold out. There was no pies. I'm like talking it up this whole time to these guys. No pies.
We almost just turned around and went back and try again tomorrow when there is pies.
So we'll try again. So thanks for the question, Andrew. Alternator,
we are still experiencing the same issues. It's not really a fault per se. It's more that the factory D-Max alternator is just very undersized for the load we're trying to pull from it. For a stock vehicle, no issues, but we're trying to pull on powder on a 40 amp DC charger, as well as other accessories as well. So no, nothing really sorted there. We're still trying to make do with a bit of a combination of trying to get the most solar we can at the most amount of times.
Yep.
Combined with also, obviously, when we're driving. We're getting that alternator input to some degree, which is enough to kind of keep us moving. We do gas cook more than we used to induction cook to try and compensate for that.
Yeah.
We're just making changes in accordance with that and making do. But yes, we have seen Adam's alternator upgrade video many times. That's been on the list.
See it in person.
Yeah, it's something we wanted to before we kicked off on this trip, but just honestly just didn't have the time to kind of pull the trigger on that and get it done. beforehand, which we did because it would have made life a lot easier so far in our sense. But it's one of those things. Like, as long as you know the limitations you're working with, you can kind of adapt your style accordingly to make it work.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's soon on the list of upgrades once we get that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. Nice. Very good. Very good.
That's our.
So far, a lot of people saying hello. Some people saying jealous because the weather looks amazing, which it absolutely is.
How's this for winter, right?
Yeah.
We still haven't really experienced true winter yet for us. Which is good. Then we've got a few questions which are mostly for us, I think, just about how we're doing our lap.
Yep.
And where we're going to be at, I think. So.
Yeah, have to talk through what's your next steps for you guys as well, post here, I guess.
Yeah. Want to come through that now? Or?
Yeah, why not? Answer those questions. So I guess at the moment we're on Dari, or formerly Fraser Island. But yeah, from here we'll just continue heading south. We have finally said goodbye to the northern top end of Australia, which was good for some things, bad for most things, I think, in terms of like, it's sad to say goodbye to it. But
yeah,
it
that was
nice,
unreal. That
nice
cape was fantastic to see.
But yeah, the old telly track was just, that's probably my favourite place in Australia so far.
Yeah, exceeded all expectations.
That telly track. And yes, we put the D-Max through every hole you possibly could on the old telly, and it still lived to see the light of the day.
Yeah, it survived the trip. Yeah, a few new cracks and bits and pieces here and there, but nothing that makes the car undrivable, so we're okay with that.
But yeah, so from here we will head south, more south. This is the only island we're going to be doing. I saw someone asked, who was that? Sorry, I'm trying to read through it. Gary asked, will we be visiting Morton or Stradbroke Island or anything? Not this time around, I think, because of time mostly. Because to answer another question, Matt, you asked, where do you guys think we'll be in September/October? We will probably be might be back in WA by then, to be honest, or heading that way.
Yeah, we're planning to hit the Perth Full Drive show in November, back home in Perth. So that has added a few time constraints.
It's like the first or second weekend, I think, in November. So
it's one of the really important shows for us to do our home state Full Drive shows. I think that might be the only one we get to this year. Melbourne's still a bit touch and go as to whether we'll get a chance to attend that one too, but Perth will definitely be there in November. Kind of planned our timing around things. But I had a bit of time to scrub the D-Max up a little bit. Right now it's filthy. Tell what colour it is.
It's seen better days.
We rocked up and saw Adam's D-Max today. It's like glossy, shiny blue. You can almost like see your reflection.
Recently had a bath.
Yeah. Ours just cheating.
Ours
a bit tired.
Paid fresh.
Paid fresh. But it's just not enough bath.
We've not been the best friend of car washers around the country.
Yeah, there's not much red dirt on though, to be fair though.
You've
done well.
Yeah.
I think I'm still getting red dirt out of my seals more than anything else. Done well.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. But yeah, other than that, I think so between obviously now and then we'll head down through New South Wales. Once we finish the last bit of Queensland, we'll do the Blue Mountains, and then we'll be heading off into Victoria.
Also wants to drive the D-Max around Mount Panorama, Bathurst.
I will be taking the D-Max around Mount Panorama. Obviously, at the 60k an hour of the speed limit is.
You can double that footage playback speed.
Nice. To be fair, I don't think the D-Max could take some of those kilometers faster than like 30k an hour. So we'll test the brakes out on the way down again.
I wonder if you fly a drone there. Probably not.
Maybe.
I don't know. Have to look into that. But yeah, and then we'll obviously get into Victoria for some high country again, and hopefully some snow camping. And then we will also hit the southernmost point of Australia, which will be I can't remember the name of it, but it's like you have to hike there, so that's going to be fun. We're doing a 2-day hike. So we'll actually take a bite of the D-Max for a moment. And then we'll slowly head back across to WA somewhere. We won't be doing Tassie either. It was just too much to try and fit into 1 year, and Tassie honestly deserves its own dedicated trip, I reckon. So it's pretty special.
So we do want to get there, definitely. There's quite a few big ticket things we do want to get to, Tassie being one of those things. We figured we'll just take a few of those and we'll chunk them away for separate future trips that we dedicate exclusively to doing that particular thing. Like Simpson Desert Crossing is probably not one of those. Dedicated standalone trip too.
Yeah,
I've never done Tassie either. I'm keen to get down there for sure.
Yeah.
So it's pretty spectacular down there.
I'm not sure what time of year is best to go to Tassie.
Probably
if any of you guys know, you can let us know. What's the best time to visit Tassie? But that's just.
So, how about you, Adam? What's your next big travel plans beyond obviously the we've got planned here?
I'm definitely keen to get out to the centre because the Cape was pretty serious trip and pretty awesome. But yeah, the next step I think is to get out to sort of Simpson Way. I want to see, you know, Ayers Rock or Uluru. So that's probably the next big one.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Need to build up a bit more leave. To do that one. But yeah, something massive like that. That's probably, it's fair to say, and it'd be interesting to see what you guys think too. Like the Cape, it's not as remote. Like it's still like you don't want to muck around, but it's not like driving days without seeing a car or like days between fuel stops or anything like that. Like, so yeah, keen to experience that.
More remoteness.
Or full expedition, I guess.
No, you're dead right with the Cape, especially the old telly too. We're surprised in the way that there's so many link backs to the PDR. You do have issues. You're not as stranded as I guess we first thought you would be. Like, have you recovered through Nolans, all these crossings? Especially like the first 2/3 of the track, because a lot of those come out. To be able to duck back. And, plenty of other people out there being one of the all drive hotspot destinations of Australia.
That's right. And if you don't want to do like, you don't have to do the old telly, right? Like you can still duck in. I think there's like 4 or 5 different bypass tracks. So like, you can just go and have a look. And then get back out on sort of the main road and as you keep going north. So definitely pretty accessible these days, it seems.
So we actually camped up at Gunshot, and a lot of people who camped there as well did just come in one of those.
There you go.
Those PDR bypass tracks, and camped up there as well, just to watch the show. For lack of a better word.
Hey, I've got another question here from Bryce. Thanks for your question there, Bryce. Hey guys, thinking about getting a D-Max very soon. Good man, you know what's up. I heard mixed things, like bump steer problem. Okay, cool. Running this to come up. Head unit problems, 22, 25. Which model seems to be the best? Got strong opinions of all of this. But go for it.
So from our opinion, definitely go with D-Max. Would not hesitate to recommend mechanically and reliability-wise. Is one of the reasons we kind of opted for D-Max in the first place. That Isuzu engine 4JJ, whatever number you add after that, reliability. So the one was obviously what we kind of based our knowledge on when this first came out, hoping that would continue that same pedigree of the 4JJ one. So we'll have one of those ones bulletproof, and this one has definitely proven to be similarly. We've done 98,000 Ks in it now with virtually zero mechanical issues, except for clutch bits and pieces, but that was more aftermarket side of things. Bump steer, we did experience that pretty majorly on ours as well. Admittedly, it's not something that I had my attention drawn to until I think I started seeing posts pop up, went out and checked mine, then was kind of going back and forth with Fulcrum and their Super Pro upgrade, and then I realized there actually is quite a big difference on our particular model. What I've heard, it does vary a lot. I don't know what your experience is, but it seems like different people, it affects them a different amount. How that's possible, I'm not too sure when you think they're all kind of rolling out at the same place, but at least there is solutions for that particular problem. They're not cheap, and definitely something you kind of need to financially weigh up if it's worth it for the amount of driving you're going to be doing in your vehicle. I think at the time when we got ours installed, I think it worked out you'd have to do roughly 150,000 kilometres from that point onwards for the cost to be offset compared to just how much extra wear you're getting on the tyres if you were rotating around to try and minimise that.
So there's pretty good videos of this. Like you've got one. I mean, separate to ours, but like you've done the video, I've done the video as well. And for me, like it's pretty stark. In my opinion, there's definitely a I wouldn't say design flaw, but certainly the design could be optimized. If you watch that video that I did, there's a front-on shot that shows it really, really well. That when you get too much droop, it's literally a fulcrum, which I realized that as I was editing that video going, it's at fulcrum. But anyway, that pulls your center, your toe in. So you can see it in that shot where it literally, as you get droop, pulls in. So I think the variability comes about depending on, there's so many variables. And that's why I think on different forums you see like people, I've never experienced it, I've experienced it a heap. Like you see some people that wear a set of tyres in like 5,000 Ks and other people will do 50 and nothing. So I think weight plays a massive difference. How much stuff you got on the front, because that's going to impact at droop, how much pressure and wear. But if you imagine like over every little bump, if you're driving on super smooth roads most of the time, probably not going to see much wear. But if you're like, even speed bumps are going to have a difference, because like you're cycling your suspension. So pretty much the long and the short, without going into much, I think the more you cycle your suspension, the more you're going to see increased wear.
Yeah.
And then it becomes a decision. Isuzu come out now with, turns out, not a full replacement, as in a full fix, similar to what Super have done. The guys at Mungie have done a really good video on that, Jared down there, showing the differences between the Fulcrum solution and Isuzu's fix. But I think same thing. I would recommend just keep an eye on your wear, see what's up. If you're getting issues, go and see Isuzu before your 40,000K mark. Yeah. And just say, look, this like the service bulletin's out. Don't accept no for an answer. If you get no from your dealer, go to Isuzu head office and you'll get them replaced. Like, yeah, yep, lots of information. Yeah, but we won't go into that too much. The other part though was about screen issues, mate. I think the screens are pretty not crap, but they're an OEM.
I'll say that.
Right? They're not made by Isuzu, and they're just kind of an off the shelf. Just like if you have a look in the latest Toyotas or Toyotas in a certain era, they're almost all the same. It's the same sort of these. I had issues with mine, with phone disconnecting, all sorts. Mine's a 21. And I know for 22 plus, the updated head unit, as well as having swivelly buttons, which is awesome volume, you're still going to get issues. So I've got a couple of videos on my channel. The Halo is pretty cool, very expensive. I've got an Android, basically tablet in there now, which is awesome. Lots of different options, but check out those videos.
Yeah, that's actually...
Ours is the 2022 model, and it's crap. It annoys us on almost a daily basis, I think.
Yeah.
For that same reason, like our phones sometimes they just won't connect at all, and then other times it'll be connected and disconnect, and then just with both of my phones, it's really quite funny. Just Daniel's obviously the one that's mainly using the car, but if I get in, it like immediately
Always
jumps to my phone.
prioritize.
Always prioritizing my phone over Daniel's, no matter how even if I
Yeah.
haven't been in the car for like 6 months, and I'll jump in and be like, yeah, his phone.
Bam.
Perfect. Yeah. As frustrating as it is, obviously it hasn't been frustrating enough for us to change it yet. We've had the car 2.5, close to 3 years. Actually, it's over 3 years by now. Sorry, 2022 June. Anyway, about 3 years. Still haven't replaced it yet. That being said, I have been quite interested and haven't had a chance yet to duck my head into Adam's car and check out his beast, because ours is the SX model, the lowest of the range, and our screen is about this big, a 6-inch touch screen. So even just a bit more screen real estate, I think would make a big difference for us.
Yeah, nice. Okay.
So yeah.
But the long and the short of it, super long answer, Bryce. But yes, you should totally buy a D-Max. I still reckon, oh my God, it's going to happen. I reckon if you looked across the market, these things are still one of the best value all-rounders that you can get in a jumper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which you mentioned our experience.
Oh yeah, true. I was going to say, we've chatted to quite a few people, obviously on our lap, and a few mechanics, and also tow truck drivers, because I know you just run into these guys not because we need them, but because you're just on the tracks. And
so they just keep talking about ranges, and like how that's keeping them in flow.
Every single one of them has said, without a doubt, like never see D-Maxes in the best way possible. Like they just don't break down. You know, they're always picking up Rangers and 79 series Land Cruisers, I don't know what else, but rarely ever are they picking up the Max.
Nice.
It's nice to hear from word of mouth.
Oh,
So
Shane is...
Oh, Shane again. Thank you, Shane.
Thank you so much, Shane. Really appreciate that.
Thank you.
But yeah, sorry, I'll go through. Let me just catch up. Sorry. Kentucky Fish, yes, it is. Where did it be? Oh, sorry, I missed this one from Toby. He said, how are the water crossings on the old telly? We just hit the road for 6 months. We'll be there in September. Awesome that you're on the road for 6 months. Good on you. You can go on.
Water crossings were probably not quite as deep as we were worried they were going to be. I think they were still deep. Like,
They were still deep.
Deep for a general water crossing, but we, a friend of ours, Nathan Exploring Oz, had done the telly. He was one of the first 12 cars to go through 3 weeks before us.
Yeah, right.
And the crossings, he said, were eventual. Like Cockpit Creek was impassable, had to go around. So they were crazy when he did it. So we weren't sure how much they were going to come down by the time we went across
did
the
it
track.
about 3 weeks after you were in.
Yeah, about 3 weeks into essentially being open for the season. The deepest, of course, was Nolan's, one at the very end. That just came over the bonnet as we dipped in, and again, there's a bit of a hole on the way out because I'm stuck there for like 5 hours.
Wow.
Previous day, digging it up, a big ram, I think it was. Yeah. So that was deep. The D-Max drove it, no issues whatsoever. Some other cars didn't and required a bit of assistance to get through. But yeah, so they were deep as we've ever done, but probably not as deep as we were worried that we were going to be.
And I imagine they will continue to get more and more shallow from now on out, because it does seem to change somewhat quickly, like not weirdly quickly, but also goes the other way. If they have some rain, like when we were up there, I think we had one of the nights there was about 50 mil of rain just randomly, and Nolan's actually came back up like maybe another, I don't know, people were saying it was like up like another 10 centimeters. To us, it was probably that, but yeah, like if you had like a flat on of rain, I imagine it wouldn't take much for those possums to come up, but then they come down with just again, so just make in mind. But yeah, they were fine. I was almost disappointed wanting them to be debunked, which sounds really weird, but I figured we'd gone that far, it would be really cool to say that we dumped the telly in like quite a hectic state. But in saying that, a lot of people did say that it was pretty wild this year.
Yeah.
Which we were like, really? Like, okay, we didn't think it was so bad. A lot of people on the track were like, oh, this is like, you know, the best slash worst we've seen it in years, you know, as in like it's the most fun, but also
Okay.
And we drove everything. We winched once, I think. That was not what we expected to winch, not on a very major obstacle, but it drove all the way.
So that answers that question. But otherwise, thinking through, sorry.
Couple of quick fire ones. Coop wants to know, what soccer team do you all support? Obviously, it's an Arsenal team for me. I don't know if you guys watching this.
I wish I had a better answer. To be honest, we don't really follow many sports at all.
Fair enough. There you go.
I follow whatever you follow.
Yes, Arsenal it is. All right, next one. We've got a quick Jesse about a tray on the back of the Maxi. I'm assuming you mean mine because you guys kind of already have one. And the answer is I have thought about it quite a lot actually, and that's the next mod. So keep an eye out because there's a full build happening there. The tray is actually already here. Just waiting on the canopy. It's a new custom thing we've been working on. So
exclusive
update. I think I've maybe talked about it. I'm not sure, but so that's actually why I'm here, because I want to suss yours out. And see how it all works. So yes, Jesse. There will be definitely some train canopy action.
Woohoo! Yes, we've got him. We've converted him.
So yeah, keen to see. And actually, from Jesse, he's asking how was it when you met everyone from 24/7?
Oh, that was so surreal. So those of you who don't know, we were like halfway along the old telly. We'd heard rumours and seen the full drive 24/7 crew on the track earlier on. Yeah, we camped up a gunshot. Woke up in the morning, we heard kind of some chatter around, and the whole crew full drive 24/7. So we got Graham was there, Shauno was there, Az from Mids, GME guys were there. Pete was there from Ultra 9, the whole crew, right, and the camera crew and whatnot. So we got to watch them come down Gunshot and see kind of how they filmed their process. For us, obviously, doing what we do, that was quite exciting to see behind the scenes of what they do. Had a chance to meet the crew. Yeah, right, not us, but we're kind of doing our best.
Amateur hour over here.
Got to check out their cameras and see what they're shooting with. FX6, if anyone's tech savvy space.
Proper good gear.
Yeah. And just fantastic blokes. Got to have a good chat with them. They gave us time of day to take some photos with us and say hi, and then we kind of followed them along the track for a bit. They did Cockatoo Creeks. We got to watch their crossing route. They kind of guided us where we were supposed to.
Kind of yelled across the river at us and said, "Should we ride if we go this way?" And we were like, "Yep, cool." But no, that was really cool. It was
such a good experience.
It was really. It was also nice to see that what they show on their YouTube videos is pretty much as it was, like watching behind the scenes stuff. There was nothing there that I was like, oh man, like they must have really edit a lot out. It was like, oh yeah, cool. Pretty much everything they do is what they show on the channel. So that was really cool and nice to see, because I know that sometimes you think, oh, they're just doing a little show or whatever else, and it's like, sure, they'll send their cars down the harder route for the show, but they are actually doing that, and they do get damages and they do try to fix it, and they kind of that's as good as it gets really. So that's cool.
Nice.
We had a question, sorry, I was going to, Greg said, either of you two have a throttle controller? Thinking of one for my D-Max model year 21.
Yes, I have it is a DGS Systems, I think. I have to go back and check. It's a pedal commander, pedal torque, I can't remember. There's a video on it. But
what channel, Adam?
Shows you how to install it. Oh yeah. I actually think the D-Max isn't too bad, like for the autos anyway, because you guys are on the manual.
Yes.
So it's actually not too bad, but if you definitely want to have a little bit more customization, if it feels a little lazy to you, like, because of course, and busting any myths, thinking it, It does nothing for your engine power. Doesn't touch any of that. It's literally just amplifying your pedal signal.
Just that throttle response.
That's just
right?
like such a common thing. So yeah, so basically you have to press your foot less and sharpens all that one, which is the same as like if you've got a Raptor, right, and it's got sand mode or it's got like Baja mode. That's literally in most cases all that's doing is it's just sharpening up your throttle response, which is exactly what that's doing. So I'm not sure who asked that question, but yes, DTS worth having a crack. They're pretty cheap. Worth just sort of one of those easy things to customize how you like to drive. So
we don't currently. We did at one point. I then had a remapped. They kind of played around with the ECU. And they seem to make that area a little better just in their tuning, so we haven't found it needed to put it back in. But we did, when the vehicle was stock, found it did make it noticeable.
It's worth playing.
Yeah,
for sure. What else have we got?
Someone Rock said, "OMG, Adam's naked hands."
There's some censorship for these hands.
Yeah. Blank all that out later. I've got one here around auto services, which I'd be interested to see how that works for you guys. From Quinton, wants to know who do you recommend at what kilometres? So, servicing on the road, like how many Ks have you guys done? How did you tee that up?
So we have done close to 20,000 Ks now. We had it serviced just before we left. Then hooked it up. Got it serviced because it's roughly 10,000 kilometre intervals, I think, at this point, or 15,000. 15, sorry, so I had it booked in pretty much bang on that 15,000 kilometre mark in Darwin. Got it done, did a bit of research, try and find someone who seemed like it was just like booked ahead of thing. Yeah, it's booked a couple of weeks in advance, and then just took it in for a service, and it's getting pretty close to its net. So, just basically same as when you're at home, essentially, just when that service is due, do a bit of research, find out who best to take it to. Obviously not as good as your trusty mechanic back at home, but just do the best with the location you're in. I've seen some people just reach out Facebook groups and whatnot to see who they recommend in certain areas.
The only other thing worth mentioning there is we are normally at home we do 15,000 Ks. Since being on the road, we've kind of looked at doing every 10,000 at least, because we're just putting it through so much and it's doing so many Ks in such a short amount of time. Plus, obviously, we're doing a lot of forward driving. We're putting it through a lot of environmental stuff, like it's getting coated in mud and salt and sand and everything you can imagine. So obviously that's going to increase your wear pretty quick. We're pretty aware of that, and we are actually looking. We've been chatting about whether or not to get it serviced now, or in the next month or so before we drive home, or do we just stretch it a little longer and just do it when we get home with our trusted mechanic? So it's a little bit tricky actually. It's like I kind of want to, and it's also money. Like it costs at least still around $1,000 to
last one was a bit more to make
depending on what you're wanting to get done. So
but trying to keep up with logbook essentially.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I do. So every 15, I'm still with Isuzu. Who's that, Quinton? Largely because of I want to get the software updates and the roadside assist stuff. Never had to use it, touch wood, but it's handy. And then I service every 7.5. So I do a mid-service for all the fluids, so oil, particular. So even that, like changing oil, would be about $100 in afternoon. For me, for a common rail diesel, the best thing you can do is oils. It's such cheap insurance. And doing that is if you're doing really hard stuff, you're doing it every 5 now. If you're doing I bet 4-drive 27 guys, I bet they're every 5. Because you want to pull all those contaminants out of the oil. That's the thing with the diesel. So if you're doing that regularly, it'll last for. So yeah.
So I just want to jump in and say also into
Australian Outdoor Man.
Australian Outdoor Man.
Thank you so much, mate. Really appreciate that.
Very much appreciate it.
That's a compliment.
Tommy, that is spot on there, my friend. He's asking about brake pad shims causing screeching by touching the rotor. Mine does. It seems very common. I will put money on it, and maybe it is your shims, but it's also likely little stones that get stuck between your rotor and the dust shield.
Yes.
That's super common.
There you go. There you go, mate. It's pretty common.
Yeah.
So much so when I did my knuckles, I didn't put the back plate back in.
Oh, really?
Left it out. Because I did the same on my Jeep years ago for exactly the same reason, and I had that.
We've spent probably 10-20 minutes once or twice so far on the lap where we've had
screwdriver trying to get in.
Trying to just still be one tiny little stone stuck somewhere makes us annoy the crap out of you.
Exactly. So there you go. Super common. And Melissa wants to know about for you guys. Been watching you guys evolve over the last few years. Love how you do so much yourself. Just wish I was handing up. So no question, just compliment.
Oh, well, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Sorry, I've just got to the end of that. Realised it wasn't good. Thank you, Melissa.
No, that's fine. I was reading through some of mine. Mickey's Adventure said, what do you guys do, as in work-wise, to keep financial things going nicely? Not sure if you mean just us or Adam as well. Like, obviously, we're filming on the road.
Yeah, so we had a bit of savings put aside to try and tie us through. We're also obviously filming this for YouTube and just doing a bit of video work on the side there as well to try and keep us financially going. In saying that, this trip has definitely cost us more by a long shot than we expected. We're still able to stay on the road and still camp in awesome spots like this. So
yep, but
things aren't too bad.
It just chews into your savings a bit, I think, and you kind of look at it as it's a once in a lifetime sort of opportunity. So like when you're here, you're like, well, may as well. So yeah, there's definitely, but it differs so much. Everyone, like the lap ends up costing whatever you want it to cost, essentially, on many bases. So.
Yeah, we could have definitely done our travels cheaper in what we've done so far. We're trying to be prioritised doing essentially the things we want to do, knowing this trip in its entirety is definitely once in a lifetime. So we're fully aware once we get back, we're going to be definitely on the broke side of things, recovering for a few months. But that is...
what are you talking about? This YouTube gig makes millions of dollars.
That's right.
Yeah. What do you mean?
But yeah, so I guess it's a work trip for us. It's not.
Yeah.
It is not a holiday, and it never was intended to be. It was always just a work trip for us. So
a lot of filming, a lot of editing on the road.
Yeah.
But it allows us to continue doing what we're doing, and it's something we enjoy doing at the same time. So.
Yeah.
Nice.
And obviously, when we get back, I'll go back to my job next year as a teacher.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I fund all of my stuff with cup holders. So you should go to the website and you should buy some. There you go. Cheeky plug.
Actually, Adam has a bunch of different D-Max bits and pieces. Definitely do check out what he does. A lot of unique bits and pieces that really enhance your quality of life in your D-Max
cup holders
spaces.
and hopes and dreams.
Ridiculously deep cup holders in the
They are
D-Max to
so
space it up. So when you drop your coffee cup, the lid doesn't get ejected and coffee goes through your cup.
Unless you try to pick it up, and all you do is just pull it off. No, it's hard to
Yeah.
I've done that in the past.
Yeah, so check that out. Our D-Max has a lot of bits and pieces from Adam in there.
There's another thing though as well.
Exactly. That's what Julian has said. Exactly, Julian. He's like 12 more cup holder purchases, people, and I can afford the barge back home. That's definitely right.
And you can stay here. So
Stuck here indefinitely. That's right. Maybe not.
Jonesy, the Curry Cruiser, said, and I assume this is in response to you saying you wanted to go on the standard, he said, just a word of warning, the Great Central Road is not exactly what I'd call a road. So, yeah.
On here,
hey?
the central one here.
No, well, he said great. Oh, maybe I assumed he meant in the middle of Australia because it's Great Central Road, isn't there?
Okay.
Yeah, so not exactly road. I can't remember if we went on that road.
No.
I don't think we did.
No.
So,
That's shooting back across.
Yeah.
We went up
apparently it's a bit,
More of a direction.
yeah.
Kind of just head that way.
Yeah, I can't
That's
speak
fine.
for experience.
But that's cool though. That's what I'm kind of keen to have it's more
more of a remote
adventure,
adventure,
right? Yeah. More of an expedition.
Brock,
Nice comment there from Brock.
yeah, Brock said both yours and Adam's channels are the reason I bought my DMX, and it also
nice.
said I have a December 2024.
Hopefully that's a good thing.
I have a 2024 DMAX.
Okay.
Let's go away. Sorry, I've just clicked on something. I can't get it to go away. There we go. It's gone. He said they have a new knuckle that has apparently remedied the major bump steer issues.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you go.
So that must be the one they're now offering as a warranty job. They're now just doing that from factory for the new models.
Yeah. So going back after that.
Yeah. So from July 24, you'll automatically get the new knuckle. Yeah. So if you got a D-Max or an MUX or a BT50, and it's post manufacture year July 24 plus, you'll already have the upgraded knuckle
And the diff-lock guard.
and the diff-lock guard, which is like a bent bit of tin. You should replace it to something better. But anyway,
So
I was just going to say as well, there was a question from Broads.
Yep.
Broads top three favourite spots anywhere in WA.
Oh.
So you haven't been to WA, have you?
Can't help you with that.
So that one.
your top 100, you
I
go.
know. It's so personal. There's so much to see. It depends what you like.
Trade one for one. Stay.
I reckon one of my favourite spots would be, oh my god, complete mental blank. Where do we go? The place with Stick Point. Shark Bay. Shark Bay actually is one of my favourite places. Absolutely stunning coastline up there, and really just a fun place to go on adventure, just near Monkey Mia. I actually don't like Monkey Mia, so don't go there, but go to Shark Bay.
Stick on the west side of that Francois Perrin National Park. You will love your time there.
Love that.
One of our all-time favourites for sure.
What about you?
I'm going to take the low-hanging fruit and say Gib River Road in the Kimberleys region.
Oh, absolutely, of course.
Still, like, that was our favourite standalone single trip. That Gib River Road was phenomenal. Like, the road itself, it is just a road, but it's just a nice experience to drive along it. So many epic gorge hikes, lovely waterholes, get to see some crocodiles. The weather for us was magnificent. Some iconic spots like the Pentecost River crossing, El Costro Gorge at the end. Just so much adventure up that way, and it's far enough that it makes a real good trip. Like, it'll take you a couple of days to get to the start, spend a bit of time on the track, and come back. Just out of this world. Awesome job.
That is an epic place. And then obviously, if you like turquoise oceans, you've got one alternative obviously up around Exmouth and Coral Bay we love, but also down near Esperance was amazing, although we had terrible weather when we were there. It turned the week, it was horrific. But it was still really, really nice. So Esperance is a must do. Like your turquoise waters and white sand.
Yep.
That's like white sand.
Yeah.
This is yellow compared to Esperance.
Whiter again.
Whiter.
Okay, cool.
It's really crystal clear.
Hey, good question here about what parts would you take on a trip? For example, Cape and beyond. So is anything broken in trips? That's a really good question.
I like spare parts.
I did a video on this for my Cape Trip series as far as setup. So in that I sort of talked through all the bits that I took and that sort of thing, which I didn't need any of those bits, touch wood. But for me, I would be taking, if it's a long trip, I would be taking the low-hanging fruit stuff like spare oil filter, because you can normally get oil, but you may not be able to get your filter. So that's cheap insurance. Spare air filter. So if you're driving in tons of dust, you can only bang your filter out so often. So having a spare one of those is great. Like for the Cape, for example, I basically put a brand new one in as soon as I got back on the Richmond on the way back. So that, and tyre, probably the third one would be like tyre puncture kits. So if you're
I think I mine too.
Same thing. That's the goo and the tube stuff. You can get the stuff in the can and you just put it in. So that and a puncture kit. That'd probably be my top three.
Yeah, I think Daniel was going to know for what we bought. We definitely bought a spare air filter. We also brought a spare fuel filter. That's mainly because of the places we're going in all around Australia. Like if you get some bad fuel, you got to flush your tank out, but then you also need to change your fuel filter.
So they're small. Yeah. They're like $30, $40. Like it doesn't cost much. But it can make all the difference if you're somewhere remote or like somewhere further away.
Yeah.
Maybe you're fine if you're in a 79 series and they've got like Toyota bits everywhere, but
but what else did we bring to the spares? I said air filters.
Belts, hoses, filters. We would have liked to have bought, I don't know, just like CB joints, for example. We just couldn't fit them in because I know like IFS front end cars can typically have issues there. Touch wood. We haven't so far.
Depends how you drive.
But nothing really crazy beyond that. Just some standard stuff. Yeah, we did bring a second spare tyre for the Gib River Road, but didn't need that.
No,
again, you can't really judge how much you need something based on if you used it or not, because there'll be those crazy trips where you'll break everything.
Yeah.
Hey, good question here too around GPS. We were just talking about this earlier.
Yes.
I can't pronounce your name. I'm terrible. I barely can pronounce my name, so don't be offended. What GPS would you recommend as we're going more remote areas with limited mobile service?
So, I have thoughts.
You have thoughts? I for Cape Trip, I was looking into different things. Ended up taking Starlink. Got the Starlink Mini there now. Video on the channel comparing them. But that to me is kind of like for this trip for Fraser, I've got the Mini bolted to the roof rack of the D-Max, and that's kind of all the things. Like obviously we need to do this thing, so it's helpful for that sort of stuff. But also for like mapping and stuff like that on the Android tablet in there, I've got Explorers. It's an app called Explorers, which is all offline maps, full topographic maps for all of Australia. So that was really, really handy, and I used that for my Cape Trip. Yeah, so that's what I use.
You want me to take this on?
Yeah, you can.
So I would say if you have the budget and the probably need beyond mapping to run something like a Starlink, Adam's totally right with that. You've got to get the best option there. Just Google Maps, so you can see the sat view, actually find tracks that aren't necessarily listed as tracks on the map that might get you out of trouble.
And it's getting cheaper now too. Like you can get, other than the purchase, like I know they were like $200 there for a while, like the minis, which are getting a lot, like still $200, but it's like getting cheaper.
Yeah.
And they've got a mobile plan now. You can do like a backup. I think it's only like something, but it's like $15 a month. So like something just for like, you know, emergency calls. Even like I'd probably have one of those over a sat phone, to be honest.
Yeah, okay.
Because if you think about that, like a sat phone, you're only going to be able to do so much. You can make a call, sure, but like, can you look up the nearest something or other, like to get a spare CV or like exactly right? Whereas that you've got full internet. So yeah, it's getting a lot better, right?
Yeah, for us prior to the Starlink days, we did get a HEMA HX2 Navigator that had obviously all your offline built-in maps to essentially get you out of trouble. The maps themselves are fantastic, and we have relied on those to get us out of trouble and into trouble a few times. The issue we have is the actual HX2 device itself. We find it quite slow and clunky, so we do find that more annoying than beneficial. But in saying that, we do like having that kind of mounted to the dash because our Starlink isn't permanently mounted. So if we are driving and we want to be able to zip ahead and find out where tracks are with no phone service, it is good to have it to the point where it's still stuck in prime position on the windscreen there. But I would say to recommend one, I can't recommend it from first-hand experience, but I have a friend who uses it. The Garmin Overlander system still runs the HEMA maps, but their physical device works a lot better. Just nice to use, faster to load, and just more reliable. This thing does crash
another option regularly. You guys are going to hate it because you're iPhone people. For those of you that use the real operating system, Android, you can just get it, or even a little iPad mini. You can get them super cheap. A cheap little Android tablet. That's what I did for the Cape trip because I didn't have that particular head unit yet. I just ran a little tablet. And like loaded it up with offline maps. There's tons out there now, like different applications that do it, not just Explorer. Also, the one I've got. Like there's Mud Maps is another. I think that's free.
So long.
But like there's you can even, if you just do a bit of there'll be a YouTube video on it somewhere. You can download Google Maps. Like get a satellite view of the Google map and download that ahead of time and then save that. You can use that. So
I had a bit of a hit and miss experience with that. So when you have to really zoom in to download that area, you can go wide, get a very pixelated in. But if you know,
if you get a high enough res offline before you leave, like anyway, there's lots of options that are borderline almost free. Like if you got an old tablet lying around.
What I used to use was Wikicams back when you had sat view, but it would let you cache it when you were offline, and it had that sat view offline, but they didn't update recently, and that's no longer the way.
So yes, exactly. Talk. You know what's up. She's saying that good Android is.
We have a few questions we collect on Instagram.
Okay.
Do you want to run through those?
Let's do it. Let's.
I know, but these personal.
Let's do some quick fire. Quick fire questions.
Right. Do you want to run through these ones that are directed to us? Or like, read those
how did you get so far behind in your videos? What's going on? Get your shit together. What's going on?
So, kind of a few things at play there. One, we do a one video per week schedule on YouTube. That's what's kind of always been our recipe. And so, by design, with the speed we're doing this trip, you're always going to kind of fall behind in that sense. Try and do 2 episodes worth of filming for each week, maybe at least on a weekly basis. Number 2, it takes so much time to actually edit.
That is the thing, right?
Yeah. And when we're traveling, pretty fast paced to try and see as much as we can during this lab. We're just gathering so much footage that it takes time to edit. So if we film for 3 days, an edit's probably going to take 3 or 4 days to actually put together. It's one of those things to edit. So if we film for 3 days, an edit's probably going to take 3 or 4 days to actually put together. It's one of those things, I guess, when you're watching a video, it's hard to kind of see behind the scenes as to the effort that actually goes in, the time that goes in putting it together. So it's just one of those things. We're trying to balance the act of planning our trip, doing it, filming it, editing it, making a thumbnail, writing a title, and getting it uploaded as well. So it just takes time. That's it. So we're a little bit behind, but the videos will eventually come out.
They will. So we'll definitely have a backlog when we get home, but that will keep rolling them out and see how that goes.
I realise I haven't checked any other questions off any of the other, what else we got in here? Some of these are pretty similar. I've kind of got a question.
Yep.
Your top 3 favourite mods? Like, obviously, I kind of like a good mod. Top 3.
Mods is in like the car itself,
Yeah.
you know, like a mod to the D-Max, or
So not
mods is in,
products
like
necessarily,
stuff brought into that.
but like something that's like, think about like quality of life kind of. What's been the thing you're like? There's no way if I was building that again, doing the things you're doing the last 6 months. What would you not like? What would be the top 3 things you do first? Yeah.
Water tank.
And you can't say tyres or suspension because like everybody's like tyre suspension.
No, I would actually say the water tank.
Okay.
That's pretty unique for us. Obviously, it depends what trip you're doing and how long you're away for and where you're going and everything like that. But for us, you know, we've got our 50 litre.
So it's a 50-litre spare wheel replacement water tank on the rear, which we've got a big monster of a pump rigged up to that. Outlets both on the kitchen side, kind of just on the wheel arch there, and also on the rear. We kind of use those pretty evenly. Like, it's been super handy having multiple taps to access that. Tons of pressure, and also a little accumulator tank, so the pump just run consistently and kind of pressurizes that. You use the water at the pump.
And as an added advantage, we can also just plug our hot water system straight into that, and obviously because we have a pump, it's already pumping hot through, so it's pressurized. But just that's probably something that I couldn't go back to not having now that we've had it, because we're doing longer trips. Like, if you're only going away for like a week or even 2 weeks, you can kind of get away with jerry can. But with what we're doing, it's just so handy to have it on tap as well. It's just so good. So that's definitely quality of life for me, I reckon.
I will say this is a bit of a weird one. Just before we left, Bianca actually installed these triangle bracket cords up on the canopy boards. You can see them just
got the idea of
every single day we use those triangle brackets. We do our dishes in the morning. It's kind of part of our morning ritual. Do the dishes, and then we'll hang our tea towels up on that to dry if there's on our way to the next camp. Essentially, you probably see a tea towel hanging from it right now.
Over there.
It's closed.
Kind of see it.
So there's 4 cords on each canopy door. So when the canopy doors one's
There's a video about that.
Yeah, but they've just been so handy. Like, we come back from a shower, we'll just like hang our towel up to dry. It's just every day we use both sides.
Takes sponge off
just to dry. So before we use third one, put our tea towels there just to dry. Good. Third one.
Why isn't me? I did one.
We're wasting the internet here. Come on.
Oh God, I don't know. What else do we use heaps? The awning, really.
Yeah.
It is a product, but that's our home. It's our little roof.
That's the new 230, right?
Yes.
We've got like 2 generations of 230 here. We've got the Falcon Extreme, and then you guys have got the, what's that one called?
Ours is the Extreme.
Maybe that's not the Extreme. I think, no, the
Pro.
Extreme is, yes, that's what it is.
Yeah, Extreme has the extra bit at the front.
No, they're both the same size, just ours is next.
You got the lights.
Oh, okay.
And it's got an updated bag and a few other things.
Yeah,
but it's mainly a freestanding 270-degree awning, and it has lights built in, which is perfect. The lights up on camp.
Yeah, so good.
Nice.
All right, what's next?
There was a couple here, that we missed before, and I was just trying to go through. Most of them are for us. There was one that was in trip. Hang on, sorry, it's just scrolled where it was. D2B Down Under said, "G'day guys, looks like a top spot for this. Question, is the trip all you expected or completely unexpected?" Hey D2B. It's kind of both, I guess, the trip here.
Yeah, the stuff we've seen has probably exceeded our expectations.
It's about that from an exception. I just got the notification for you. This is like, look, we're streaming a stream on a stream.
Oh wow, there you go.
Right?
Guys.
I'd say the locations have probably exceeded our expectations in most cases.
Mostly,
blown us away. The financial side of things has probably been a bit more expensive than we expected.
Yeah,
and it's going a lot faster than we expected too. Like, we're already 6 months in.
Yeah,
so far behind. We've done so much.
I don't think we also didn't really realize like just how much we had planned to fit into what really is a really short amount of time. So I can definitely see how people end up tapping like 2, 3, 4 years. Definitely and we end up in places that we never expected to be, whether that's from local recommendations or we've taken the wrong turn or we just randomly decide to go do like a 3-day, 4-day round trip to the Kimberleys, off the top of the, just randomly. It's been a mix of both. Some stuff you just like, stuff happens and you just have there's just like, oh my God, I would never expect to be dealing with this. And then other times, you're just like looking at it and you're like, wow, I can't believe this is my life. So definitely a mix.
Catch up on a few of Adam's.
Hey, big shout out to Australian Outdoor Man. Thank you very much, mate. We will definitely travel safe. Thank you very much, mate.
I'm going to go to another one of these questions we collected during the past week. So thank you so much for sending your questions early. It always means a lot to us, you guys, if you're interested. Nathan, 2019, said, how do you both remain so positive on the road?
A lot of hard work.
Yeah, I mean, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. There's definitely those tougher days on the road, as you'd expect, especially living in such close quarters.
Actually, and I'll just jump in because someone, Glenn, you asked a question and said, have the both of you ever argue off camera? I mean, argue off camera and then wish you'd never started? So it's kind of like closing to staying positive, I guess. Continue now. We'll just start with the answer.
Yeah, I was going to say, there definitely is tough days on the road. Obviously, like, that's not always captured on camera because there's some days you're filming, some days you're not. We try and keep it as real as possible on the road. So it's been mostly good, but there's, definitely those tough days. You've got to get through those.
Yeah, there's definitely days where I want to, like, suffocate Daniel on the pillow.
Just need to go into a different room, like the back seat.
Right? Like, absolutely. So, when you, like, it can be very stressful. You know, you're constantly on the go. You don't have a home. Some days you just get this perfect storm where it's terrible weather. You might be feeling sick or run down or something. Whereas, if you're at home, you just like rest up on the road. That isn't really an option. You just sit moving, and then, there's definitely been plenty of arguments that happen. We're living like literally this far from each other and have been 6 months now. So you definitely got to have some good conflict resolution stuff going on sometimes. But it's also, to stay positive, it's all in your mindset. Like, it's how you look at it. You can either, drive around and be like, this is shit, I hate this, like, God, this sucks. Or you can drive around and be like, all right, even if it's a terrible situation, that you're in or whatever else, how can I make this the best it's going to be? Like, you just kind of accept what you're doing. And it's like, all right, well, let's make it the best we possibly can. And most of the time, that's actually pretty easy in terms of, like, how can you sit here and
you got to think about what you're doing, right? Like, in the places you're at and like all that sort of things.
And accepting as well that it's not always going to be sunshine and rainbows. You don't come out here thinking every day is going to be amazing. It's like, nah, it's still life.
13 Lady said, what's been your most rewarding DIY project so far? And is there a dream build or project? I would say probably a slide out kitchen build for us. Just something we rely on every single day.
Gonna have a look at that later.
Sure. Having a bit of bench space, especially when it's so accessible, there's no legs drop down or whatnot. That's worked really well for us. Just up to the torch we can kind of put it through at the Cape and through some of the more rougher areas of Australia so far. And we use it every single day. In terms of dream projects, I can't really think of too many things we haven't already done. Maybe one Bianca's kind of mentioned earlier, kind of inspired from Adam's setup. It's a bit of a drop-down storage system. You can put things like tables and lift them up kind of above our drawer.
So they sit on the roof of your
storage. Because one issue we have now is we do have to pretty much remove everything from that drawer setup.
But this particular chair,
kind of set
this chair causes that issue, and I don't like that in the chair.
So maybe something like that would be good. Sure. Yeah.
Either that or like an entirely new setup.
Okay.
Someone else just said, Brock said, must have just missed you because you passed 4 drive 24/7 envoy on the PDR on my way back down from Weaver a few weeks ago. You must have been there.
Yep.
Love the big peeps. Australian Outdoor Man. I just bought a brand new 2025 D-Max Mixed Terrain. I have been told that you need to adjust the valves around 60,000 Ks. Has anyone else heard of this?
45. Yeah. What year was it?
2025.
25.
Brand.
Yeah. It's valve clearance is at 45,000 service.
Wow.
So top tip, if you're taking it to the dealer, is little cheeky paint pen and mark some of your valve covers just to make sure that they do take it off. Because I've heard stories where they say it's done, it's not. But 45,000 service, mate.
Nice. Project 19 says, loving the series. How has life been in the June rooftop tent, and what mod has been your favourite? I'm guessing separate from the June rooftop tent. From my experience, the tube tent's been fantastic. Tons of room inside, which is good when it's kind of your only closed-in living space when you're on the road beyond the car itself. So comfort-wise, we've been really happy. Setup time, we've been really happy as well. The amount of bedding we can fit in that is ridiculous. We're packing away with a fitted sheet, a doona, a sleeping bag, an extra blanket, and pillows.
And currently another extra blanket. So we actually have a sheet, doona, sleeping bag, 2 extra blankets, and then 4 pillows and a fan.
Wow. As we're getting down into the colder weather, we are experiencing a bit of condensation in the morning, which is pretty standard with rooftop tents. That's something we're trying to combat, but that's pretty standard with most rooftop tents.
Yeah, the only thing I'd like more of is just some power outlets in there, so that because at the moment we just take a power bank up there. It's got a light, but you plug in. So if we can run power, and we could probably do that manually, but I know tents nowadays come with it, so it'd be cool to manually run it could have power.
Yeah.
Thought we had neighbours there for a minute.
Yeah, I thought we were
People driving off just behind us here, but
some people looking for camp.
they're going back the other way,
Yeah.
actually.
And
We're on about a 2-kilometre stretch here for this camp zone we're at.
yeah.
I was saying earlier, there was someone like 50 metres away just there. We're like, come on, mate. There's like no one for the rest of the whole thing.
It's 2 kilometres.
So,
And as one thing kind of covered that in Adam's question earlier.
Yep. All right.
There's a few more things here, so I'm arguing with the scroll on it. Corey Beedling said, "Hey all from Beedling Adventures in Early Beach at the moment. We were there like 2
nice.
days ago. We were at Early Beach. So
We loved Early Beach.
hope the wind has calmed down now.
Yeah.
It was pretty windy on Friday. So.
Yep. So you'll love your time there. Spectacular. Do the tours. We did the jet ski tour and also Viper boat, which took us out to the reef and stuff around there.
I didn't go on
So it's a nice spot, eh?
It's a nice with Bianca.
Four Drive Mental Health said, "Hey Daniel and Bianca, I've been enjoying the content. I was wondering if you're going to shoot over to Lake Eyre and see it in full flood. I'm currently planning a trip with my wife in August." No, we've already passed through Lake Eyre and we got there literally like 2 weeks before all that flood water came down. So we just missed it. So I don't think we will get back up there. I think it'll be too much of a detour to get all the way up there to have a look at it now. But I've seen drone footage of it and seen people's footage of that flood waters coming through, and it looks pretty epic. So
man.
yeah, that was pretty cool. So
Mad Mapper said, as an owner of a D-Max as well, what is one thing that frustrates you most about the car? I'll throw that one to Adam.
One thing that frustrates you, I reckon that it is. This is probably double-edged sword here. I'm going to sound like, the electronics. Some of the electronic assist stuff is a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
So I think that, but it's also awesome. So like, I think on some of the forums, people like rage pretty hard against, I want it back in the day when I was driving a tractor and I don't want any of it. Like, seriously, when you're doing long hauls in these, I reckon that some of the like lane keep and the radar cruise is awesome because, and I reckon I'm putting like a lot of that's to do, I think, with the fact that it kind of helps you drive a little bit, so you don't have to be like 100, especially coming from a Jeep where you have to be 100%. It's trying to kill you at all times. So like, I think that's kind of good, but the downside is I think you need to be able to turn it off properly. And it's like, I've been in a few situations where same thing on the Cape trip. I got stuck terribly at before Nolan's. What's the big thing before Nolan's? Logan's. Which I reckon 50-50 I could have driven out of, but because of the angle going in, it thought I was going to like run into a wall, and it wouldn't let me accelerate. And like, so I couldn't even when we were getting like snatch strapped out of there, the D-Max was applying the brake. So that's probably the most frustrating. Everything else, I'm still a big fan of 4 years in, but if you could properly switch off some of the electronics, that'd be great. Yep. What about you guys?
Okay.
I was going to agree. You go first. I'm trying on time.
Yeah, I'd say probably on the flip side of the coin from Adam X on there. We find it's probably because ours is set up a little bit differently to Adam's and our wheels are a bit bigger. We find that lane guidance, like bouncing back and forth, that does play up a little bit for us.
It gets a bit erratic sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes you'll be smack bang in the middle of like, but we'll try and wrench your wheel in certain directions. So we quite frequently, the first time we experienced that on a drive, we turned that system off by holding our steering wheel button.
Oh, yeah.
So that hasn't been ideal for us.
And I think as well, just to add to that, like sometimes even if you are kind of like, if you might drift off to the side for whatever reason, whether you're meaning to or not meaning to, when it corrects you, sometimes it does it really quite heavily to the point that it's almost like it makes it a lot worse to the point it's almost dangerous. And I've done that a couple of times where I'm like, whoa, what the hell? Like
sometimes it seems to like suck you into the outside. It like seems to go. It's like there's no lane there, man. Like stop pulling me towards
that system. We haven't found to be particularly helpful in our situation.
It needs some tuning. It needs some fine tuning.
And you should be able to, like we were talking about this down at UI earlier. Like if you're already in full drive with like traction control properly turned off, and you turn the car off and turn it back on, it should stay off. Like I'm still in forward drive, like leave it off.
Or even in forward drive, just
have it off by default.
Have it off by default. Like it's pretty rare you want traction control on if you're in full drive. As soon as sometimes when you're in full drive, the spinning is like I don't know. I'd probably electronics. Yeah, like that's
full control over that.
Emergency braking. Like those are.
And the traction control needs work too. Like traction control is not good. Well, I mean it's okay, but compared to probably going to with this, but compared to like Jeeps, which it's not even a full traction control, set brake lock, distribution stuff. FLD is way better than traction control in these. So hopefully with newer models, I think there's a rough terrain. I don't know if anyone's got a newer D-Max. I think there's rough terrain mode now, which does make it a little bit better, but certainly a little sharper on that would be good.
Yeah. So
we're an hour in, so like
I'll
maybe
quickly ask this. This is about
losing light, people. So get your questions in.
Tommy Tucker, do you have any pros and cons of the off-road Animal Toro?
I had a question about that too. They wanted to know how you were getting on with it. Yeah, okay. Where's that? Missed that.
Yeah.
Pros and cons of the off-road Animal bull bar. Pros, really like the look.
Yeah.
Love the fact we were able to mount the winch after the bull bar was already installed without having to drop it off and kind of get it behind. It was so. I was the first time winch installer, and it took me like no time at all to get that installed. Love the fact it's got integrated recovery points, backplate on the front there, high lift jack points built in there as well. Dislikes, we weren't able to mount full-size spotlights without doing some aftermarket modifications.
And those aftermarket modifications have led to better issues.
Yeah, so we've now got cracks in that bull bar as well because those spotlights are now on brackets to kind of make them hang out further forward than they would normally be. It's creating a bit of a pivot point, and that's created a few cracks that hopefully Adam's going to be able to help us weld up before we head our way backwards.
We'll don some blue gloves and
we'll
glue it back together.
We might be doing that together. Although I was going to say the paint as well. The paint on the bull bar hasn't lasted. It's not lasting very well. We're getting a lot of like just the stone chips that are hitting it, which you'd expect right on a bull bar, and we're actually seeing a lot of the paint falling away on the sides, sides of the hoops, and even just on the bottom. Yeah, like it's just not as dirty for what I'd expect.
Yeah. In saying that, I'd probably buy the same one again, both my time again, because that has been great.
They do look good, eh? I like the kick up on the lights.
Yeah. We've now got the off-road Animal side steps as well, which they just tie in really nicely with the bull bar in terms of just the angles and the speed. So that's a cool question.
Nice. I want to get through these last two that got in their questions earlier, just because. So Harry Peake said, have you been tempted to spend a couple of nights in motel-style accommodation? Of course, as we've been travelling around Australia. Have been tempted and have done so as well. More from a work perspective for us. Just the weather's kind of a bit sketchy, and I'm sitting outside on my table trying to edit a video with rain coming in onto the computer and the hard drive. It's just not going to work. So I think 2 or 3 times we've just like booked 2 or 3 nights in like an Airbnb style thing. Got some walls around us and really smashed through a bunch of that editing, which is why we've been able to keep up with that 1 episode per week schedule.
And it's also handy in a sense of resetting as well. Like obviously we hit laundromats or caravan parks for washing and stuff, but like if you're stopping in at a place, like usually we'll try and get someone that has a washing machine and a dryer so that we can just, we can smash through all the washing and stuff. We're not paying like $4, $5, $6, $7 a load. And then we can, we can clean everything up, we can give everything a good scrub down, and then pack it all back to D-Max, and we're all kind of reset. It's sort of important because, after a while on the road, things start to get smelly and sandy and dirty. So for that reason, and definitely don't be wrong. Like for me, comfort-wise, sometimes I really just want some walls, solid walls. Sometimes it's good feeling, but
And the last one we've already answered, but I wanted to just call it out anyway, just because he took the effort to write a comment. Wildfire Touring said, best four-wheel drive on the market for cost and reliability, and why is it nice? Yes, so we've covered that thoroughly.
Yeah,
Love
pretty
the
much.
Yeah.
I am interested to see there's some pretty well, it depends something going through that, which they survived, but the range thing still is an interesting one, and particularly if you're towing, right? So. But I'm interested to see, like, way back in the day, I had a Hyundai Excel, and those things were unbreakable, but also pretty questionable. But if you think of Hyundais now, they're top tier. Like, their Santa Fe's and stuff are pretty fancy. So, like, I wonder, like, in a couple of generations, how good some of those dual caps are. It'd be interesting. But certainly at the moment, I concur. Who was that? Wildfire Touring?
That was Wildfire Touring, yes.
Absolutely, right? I think
big guys and NUX, so similar, very similar.
It's hard to go past that for sure. So cells used to be everywhere. Exactly. You can fun fact, I found the other day there's a racing series. So like it's like all Hyundai Excels.
Oh really?
Strip them out or something, and then there's like some crazy like
Certain Monday racing series.
Yeah, imagine that. I'd be well up for that. Imagine that, like stripping out a little ring in and snake around the track somewhere. That'd be great. So,
I'm just
all right, last couple of questions, I reckon. I'm starting.
Yeah, it is
The
done.
sun is like literally disappearing out of the hill. It's
Pat
darker
Elliott.
in a minute.
Pat Elliott said, I have a 2012 Colorado. Is there much difference between them and the D-Max?
Which one?
A 2012 Colorado. Is there much difference
old
between them and the D-Max?
So they were very similar to the old D-Max of that era.
Yeah.
Not so similar to the current model, essentially.
Yeah. I had a mate who had a Colorado 20. What year that was? I think it's 2020 or something, maybe. That was pretty good. That was pretty solid. Had a little Duramax 2.8 or something in it, I think it was. And of course, a little bit trickier to get bits for now with disappearing. So,
actually, I'd have to check the years because a friend of mine had a 2009 Colorado, and that was the same 3-litre 4JJ1 as the Isuzu D-Max. But I'm not 100% sure in hindsight what year they flipped over to 2.8. Because then they became a completely different vehicle entirely from the D-Max range. So if it's still the 3-litre 4JJ1, very similar except for the body. Post that, they became their own. Actually.
Okay. Mark Barnes said, has your bump stop issue now been fixed? We kind of went over that a little bit earlier, but to make it short, yes. Traveling to Adventure. Hello from Thailand. Wow. I hope you have a great trip. Do you guys have Suzuki Carry mini trucks there?
No, we do not.
I've seen them. They're very compact.
No, but you can. So over here, there are a lot of Daihatsus. So you can get like Hi-Jets and stuff. Whoever was asking that. So you can get some of those, but they're mostly important. Right. Yeah. They're pretty cool. Yeah. They're little K trucks. So they're like 800 cc's and stuff.
Cool.
So Glenn asked Daniel, "Do you know the size of Bianca's finger to surprise her for that special day?"
Every time we do a live stream, we get this. No idea.
Anything
leave it at
that.
Daniel?
On the dual live stream right now.
Okay, yeah, cool. Hey, Tommy asked about the Ultic light bar with steady spotlights. Yes, absolutely you can, mate. You can have all sorts of different mix and match. The smart harness may not be the same. You may have to do some snipping. As far as plugs and bits and pieces. But yeah, mate, you can... it's pretty much anything is mix and match wiring wise, unless you start talking CAN bus. If you start mucking with CAN bus, then it may be different by brand. But outside of that, go for it. There you
go. Talk Up Media said early 2012 or late 2012.
That was in relation to the Colorados. There you go. 2012 at some point they did change to become their own thing.
Mark One said worse when a lot of shady trees across the road and you have traffic behind the D-Max slams on the brakes. That's about the brake thing. Yeah, definitely shady spots. Get it. Traveling to Adventure said, how did you and Bianca meet? And then also said, I use some TJM products for camping, but not a big fan. Any other recommendations for truck gear, camping gear that you know and trust?
TJM. What's that?
That was what they currently use, some of. They're just wondering if you have any recommendations for other gear or other brands. I don't know. There's so much out there nowadays. It's all about
jump on
the
YouTube,
budget.
research.
Yeah.
I don't think of any brands I'd really say to avoid. There's no real lemons that stand out.
I find you generally get what you pay for to a certain extent. Not saying that the most expensive gear is always going to be the best gear, but it's kind of like case by case scenario. Like, how much do you have to spend? What kind of gear do you want? What features do you want in it? I guess so. Yeah, we're pretty open to that stuff.
Yeah, just do your research, right? Even the Decker Cards brands out there, like your King's gear, right? Like they have their place. Hopefully it's not on the beach left after a camp, because that's never good to see. But like they has if you want just like crazy spotlights that are like $80 each and just to light things up, and you've got the expectation that maybe they're not going to last that long, you might get a little water in them, then go for it.
If you first four-wheel drive, you want a morning, you can still get out and explore.
You don't need all the gear, right? So like horses, do your research. There's like stuff that you may see.
Light bar on eBay.
So just do your research and pick something in your budget.
Yeah.
So.
Otherwise, I'm probably going to bring an end to these questions because we've got through most of them. How we met, that is a long story. It's an interesting one, but we met at a BP station, that's what I'll say. We've been together over 12 years now, so it's still going well.
A couple of quick fire ones. I don't think we're running a light, mate, to do a walk around of both rigs. I'm sure you guys have got something coming out soon, maybe with the
we'll do
walk around
through about setup will be touring with it somewhere.
Yeah. And if you want to look at the D-Max, I'm going to say maybe 5 videos ago, if you have a look on the Video Show Me How channel, I did a full walk around pretty much identically as it is right now, I think. But yeah, so if you want to check that out,
we have a video on our channel.
Yeah.
That's the closest.
We didn't really go into the car itself and the modifications. That was more just how we kind of pack out gear and to live on the road. But we have been planning on putting like a full walkthrough together at some point. So yeah, stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
And Joe's talking about servicing of the road. We were talking about that earlier around independent, a bit of a mix, independent or dealers. Bit of a mix, mate. We were talking about that a bit earlier.
Yeah.
So.
Last one here, Mark Barnes. Do you use fuel pre-filter and catch can?
Catch can, no. For me, would like to add one. Just haven't got around to it yet. Definitely be prioritising that once I get back, especially I know that's your preference to catch can. Advocates entirely.
100%.
Fuel pre-filter, yes, we do have one of those for a bit of extra insurance there.
Yep. And yeah, same for me. Pre-filter and Provan 200. The only thing I'll say with that, like with catch cans, like for me, I'm definitely in the camp of absolutely. If you're running a CRD, put a catch can in it. However, make sure the catch can is the right size for the size of the engine. So if it's too small, that's where you may get some pressure issues, which you'll see online. Some people swear black and blue, they'll cause rear main seal leaks and all sorts of stuff. If it's the right size, you're not going to have that issue. Provan, for example, through Mun and Hummel, have pressure relief valve built in, so you're never going to have enough pressure in that system that's going to be greater than the crankcase anyway. And the only other thing with them is it's not a set and forget. I think some people maybe run into trouble when they just like chuck it in and leave it. You got to drain it every couple of thousand. So set a reminder on your phone, set the reminder on the dash. You got to drain it. But yeah, definitely worth it.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
So I think we're pretty much up to date on our side of things.
Yeah,
it's starting to get cold here, peeps, and we're running out of light.
It's
So
freezing.
thanks very much.
Absolutely shivering here. So at least we've got jump
Starting
on.
to.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So thanks for watching, everyone.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thanks so much. I'm sure we're doing a live stream at some point.
Subscribe for all your
questions, things.
And for those of you who chucked a cheeky donation in there as well.
Thanks very much.
It's so appreciated. And just for tuning in and leaving your comments here as well. We really appreciate the support. You guys watching along. You're essentially the reason we're out here able to do stuff like this. So we really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks very much, guys.
Yeah.
We will see you about. See you around.
Yes.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Catch you in the
See you
next
later.
one.
See you guys.
Cheers.
Stream. Yes.